There has to be a story when you walk into a space. And a lot of people, when you start mentioning marble, they get very scared.
Hello everyone, welcome to Stoneartskenya channel, where we'll be bringing architects, interior designers, contractors, and basically just questioning them on how the field is, and we'll just be engaging with them. So welcome so much. My name is Mercy Valentine, and today on our first episode we have a very beautiful designer, very well established, smart, and she'll be joining us today, Miss Charity.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Charity, for coming today.
Thank you so much.
Yes, welcome. Yes.
My name is Charity Stromsmos. I've been in this industry for quite a long time. I've been doing this for about 31 years. And during that time, you know, I've dealt with all kinds of sector of design, from hospitality to houses to schools. I've been involved in most everything you can imagine. And of course homes, you know, homes are very constant. Yeah. So in my company is called Dimensions Interiors Limited. We really enjoy design, and like I mentioned before, Kenya has changed so much in the last 30 years. Yeah. It's incredible. I'm always amazed to see what people are doing.
There's always something new
to see, and I'm loving being here today.
Okay.
Yes.
So how would you say how you first began design and where you are now? How would you say you have evolved as a designer?
It has evolved because one of the things I've noticed, obviously there's so many new things in the market.
Yeah.
And to be a designer, you've got to create your little niche.
Yeah.
You realize that if you're doing everything, you go from offices to this,
residential,
people don't kind of know. If you go from my projects for projects, you can tell there's a certain consistency in everything that I'm doing. And I've actually put my name on what I call classical design. Wow. Afro chic. Because one of the things I love is realizing we have such a rich culture, such a beautiful country. So whatever we can, we try and bring in elements of that, because what makes a difference between what the design here and design out there. Okay. If I go to Kenya, what sort of design will I get that's different from out there? So you make it authentic and more Kenyan.
And more unique.
And more unique.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. So beautiful. Okay, so would you mind telling us where you find your inspirations for design, or did you just come about in your
No, actually it's a process. I always say every project is very different. And I'll give an example. You know, there are projects we've done, like hotel projects. Yeah. I'll name one. I'll say a Nashipai.
Wow.
It was based on Maasai. Based on that, you take it to a different level. You don't make it literal. You modernize the whole concept, the cultural element of that Maasai concept, and then you take it through. Because people know what Maasai is, but how do you bring it back into a modern context?
All right.
So we do that. So very many projects we do that. And the same thing with homes. When you meet somebody, there has to be a story when you walk into a space.
You've worked with Stonearts before so many times. And just tell us how your process of working with Stonearts and how it was.
Okay. I remember you don't really hear much about it. Yeah. In a long time ago, we used to have a lot of exhibitions where you'd see stuff going on. So the first time I got to see stone art, I had gone shopping at Galleria.
Are you serious?
And then I saw something very interesting at a distance, and I decided to go and see. So you used to have a little show area.
We have a showroom.
Your initial one. Yeah, so after that, I think you moved to another location,
Mirage.
And we moved on, and then you are here. So I have followed you throughout, but that was the initial. Just that pool, I was like, no, I have to see.
Beautiful.
It was a pool. You were being pulled because it was so interesting. It looked like a sculpture from a distance. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So do you mind also telling us the projects you've worked with Stonearts? You have a couple of them.
Actually, it's quite interesting because I do a lot of hotel design. And a lot of people, when you start mentioning marble, they get very scared.
Because
they're like, it's going to cost a lot of money. Or you tell them this. But when people come to their home, you know, they want to spend a lot of money. Everybody wants to.
When you see how detailed the marble is,
and design, and you want to be, you know, sort of to show that. But obviously, there's always that element. Oh my, it's gonna cost me a lot of money.
Expensive.
So but when you start doing 3Ds, and that's the beauty of it. When you create visualization for
and then
them,
the client can see,
and they see 3Ds, and they get excited. There's no turning back.
Now they want to see.
They want it. They want it. So you have to do those artistic impressions to get the feeling. Because trying to explain is not always so easy.
Yeah.
It really helps that you guys now have a nice showroom that people can see.
Actually visualize how it will come about.
Because before you're bringing them a sample.
Yeah.
How do they understand how this sample will
place it
work
in the
together?
whole?
Correct.
Yeah, I get that right. Okay, that's very beautiful. And also, I assume there's a process to designing. There's a process to come about to where you settle for this is what you want, this is what the client wants.
Yeah.
Do you also, would you like to tell us what is the process? What is the design process from start to just completion?
Okay, so we normally start with meeting somebody, getting to know somebody. Because I always say everybody, by the time they're calling you, they already have a vision of what they want.
Yeah, right.
And with Pinterest now, everybody's
they
online.
have ideas.
And even clients will send you pictures,
this is what
send
I
you
want.
ideas, this is what I want. So I start there. And then sometimes, the ideas are scattered all over the place. Our job is trying to put it together. And also advise them where you feel it's not working.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So at that stage, there's a lot of conversation back and forth with the client to try and get them to that point. Once you grasp it, then you do the 3Ds. You do the furniture layouts. You do the concepts, and then after that, when they sign off the 3Ds, then you start doing production drawings. And this is when now we engage with you. We select the stones with the client, and then we do the 3Ds that go with that.
With now what you've actually chosen. Correct.
And then production drawings, are working drawings. So we do a lot of working drawings, back and forth.
Yeah, for production.
Yeah, and sizing. After the working drawings, then we go to site and do the markings on the floor or on the wall. We've done a lot of cladding.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done fireplaces. There is a house we did in Ridgeways where we did a beautiful tall fireplace with the same stone.
Yeah,
that's a
very
one.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. Okay. So it works. It's a work of art.
Yeah, masterpiece in its own.
Okay. And the mixing, correct.
All right. So how do you approach sustainability when it comes to selecting materials for certain designs and certain species?
Well, we have to think about, you see, for example, there's not high traffic. So if it's a place that's going to have high traffic, you try to discourage them on something that will wear off fast, or that's porous.
Yeah.
Because there are some stones which are porous.
Yeah, they are.
There are stones which are more hard wearing. So you try and encourage them, especially on a commercial setup.
Yeah,
you might want to tell them, don't do this, but do this. Do marble, but don't do the stone, because over time, maintenance.
So just wear out.
It depends on that,
All right. Yeah. For your career, you have interacted with both, I can assume, all materials by now.
Yes,
31 years, right?
Yes,
so quite a lot of time.
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to know you've interacted with so many materials. But now that our context right now is stone, I assume you have done natural stone and you've done artificial stone.
Yes.
So would you mind telling us the difference and maybe which one would you prefer and why?
Personally, I think the natural stone is so amazing. I mean, it's the same issue of doing a tile. You see, over time with tiles, this is timeless. When you do a stone, it's timeless. With tiles, you might want to come and change it. But with a natural stone, I call them timeless. And it's an investment that you can have for a very long time.
Actually,
and
forever.
You never feel you need to change it.
Them.
Yeah, but with tile over time, you get tired of it, and it's that sort of thing. And the maintenance and the grouting and all this sort of stuff that you have to deal with tiles. And it's also authentic. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like a one-time thing. It's not something you'll find on everywhere you go. Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
Now, still on the timeless design, what is, for you personally, what is one timeless design that will never go out of style just for you?
For me, classical. Because up to now, I still look at, you watch a movie and you look classic, you look at Roman,
and
movies.
Still beautiful.
And the beauty, and the carving. You see, now there's a problem. We don't spend enough time on details.
Yeah.
And yet,
everyone
the
is
classical
rushing so
detail
much.
was so detailed.
Yeah.
So detailed.
Actually, if you look at old buildings,
So
they are
detailed.
so much detail compared to what we normally have.
Attention to
today.
detail, it was incredible. I don't know whether people had more time then or not, but it's beautiful. You admire interiors like works of art, not just, just beautiful spaces.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You handle a lot of clients, yeah?
Yes, I do.
I know you have different kind of personalities when it
Yes.
comes to different clients.
Correct.
So how do you handle clients who bring about conflict or they don't really decide on what they want? How do you go about that?
I think it's a lot of managing the client, like I said before. It's not easy. I can't say it's easy.
Yeah, I understand.
But also you've got to understand, by the time somebody's doing their house, they're so passionate. It's like their baby.
Oh yeah, I
So
understand.
you always have to remember, even as when they're being emotional and taking, it's because this is so important for them. So you've got to manage them and try and convince them slowly and through visuals.
Oh yeah, right.
I think visuals is probably the best
To make them
thing.
understand more.
To understand why you have to do this. And also, when worse comes to worse, then take them to a similar project.
So they can actually see
to
it.
visually understand, touch and feel.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's why showrooms are important.
Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. That's the importance for showrooms, just as we have right here on Stoneart. So please, if you're doing your design, if you're doing your house, you can always come here at Stoneartskenya, and you have everything displayed from floor to wall to facades to fireplace, fountains, everything. If you were to design for a historical figure, who would it be and why?
I'd love to design a house for Wangari Maathai.
Wow!
I'd
Tell
love
me
to.
more.
I think there's so much beauty in nature. Wangari Maathai saw it in the trees, in the forest, and there's so much out there that you can borrow into the interiors.
Yeah, I know.
You know, the birds, everything. You know, I was even looking at something that you have up there. You know, looking
this
at that
the
design
feather
with the feathers and the whole thing, bringing in a little bit of nature into the house, and the trees and the woodwork. I'd love to design for her. And we call it the biophilia design, the love for nature.
All right.
I'd love to emphasize that in her house.
If it was possible.
She was an amazing person.
Woman.
Amazing woman.
What's your favorite piece of stone?
The stone?
That you'd incorporate it in any project, any day, anywhere.
I'd like the classical.
Classic.
And then the butterscotch one. I think I've used butterscotch a lot. And I've used the classical a lot. I think they've been one of my favorite. And also the white stone, you know, the white marble has been very popular because it's very rare to find. It's very rare to find. The pure white marble is amazing. I love that. I think it's beautiful, and there's something that people don't know you can do with stone art items. We did a very rustic gazebo, and we wanted to make it a little bit different, so we took the pebbles and created a mosaic art piece with them. And we did a landscape design with the people don't know you can work with pebbles as well. The leftover little pebbles. So that was fun, and I did it physically. So that was fun.
You did it physically
with the fundi sticking every pebble,
every piece by piece. Which are rules in design that you'd love to break? You know, most of design has so many standards.
I see limitations.
So many limitations. So what are the kind of rules we have in
budgets?
design? Budget.
No, it's okay.
If we were able to kill that.
I think it's value for money is very, very important.
To everyone.
Actually. To everyone. You know, you want to, even if I'm paying more than somebody else, I want to get the value for whatever I have paid for. The process of I think the design process sometimes can be very long. You know what I mean? And then by the time you're completing the finishes and decisiveness, I wish
has already kicked in.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of indecisiveness, I
Alright.
think, with people. And I think informing people first at
Yeah,
the beginning
would be very
is very, very important.
Yeah.
So at least people are informed from the beginning. And I think design can be quite tough
Yeah.
in general.
Okay.
I think because
It
by the
is.
time you're
It
actually
actually is.
hitting the ground, you've gone through quite a lot.
I know. I
So
understand.
yeah.